Record of Ragnarok Round 11, Simo vs Loki 100% confirmed. Insane reveals about Odin once again. The truth about Record of Ragnarok fully revealed. That being everything about Brunhilde, Siegfried, the destruction of humanity, and even the gods now. With Anubis being humiliated, Siegfried dropping stacks of information that leads us to the importance of Goal in the future to break down, and even more Record of Ragnarok greatness in today's video. Therefore, let's begin with the official reveal of Simo in the story. We see Brunhilde alone after speaking to Loki, a conversation I'll be breaking down shortly, saying, "Lord Loki, please forgive me. I am doing this for Sig's sake and for humanity." Probably in the history of humanity, the only human who can destroy Loki, heaven's slyest god and his unusual tricks, is this person alone. Despite being human, this man has earned the name, the White Death. Absolutely goated introduction, no messing around, just locking in and saying straight away that similar to other fights like Jack the Ripper vs Hercules, Simo likely was chosen since the very start to fight the likes of Loki and actually defeat him, and for his official reveal in the story, we see him appearing in this forest behind his Valkyrie, again somewhat similar to Jack the Ripper, but as we know he is not like that serial killer, saying let's go, let's protect our fatherland, ready to go, with his dog also being here, with the narrator providing this statement on the side here. The greatest sniper in human history finally takes the stage. This is potentially the most anticipated fighter by the fandom. We got his design revealed many years ago by the authors due to the Japanese fandom voting for its release. The global fandom Record of Ragnarok are even more hyped for Simo. He is now fighting in round 11 against Loki, which requires us to talk about that god a little bit, the second last Norse god fighting in the tournament, one that's been around since the very start, has an insane connection to Brunhilde, the big villain Odin, and other things, so sit back and let's go over the next section. Surprisingly, this time we have Brunhilde actually approach the god and request that they fight next. This is during the same location that Loki and Buddha's prior exchange happened in the series, where Loki at first thinks Brunhilde is here to accept the deal he offered in their prior interaction, where Loki would speak to his uncle Odin for the sake of saving Brunhilde because Loki in fact loves her. But the Valkyrie is not here for that. She is here to beg Loki for him to fight in the next match, round 11, connecting once again to Brunhilde's goal of saving her boyfriend Siegfried alongside saving humanity, and even saying this directly to the god. For the next battle, the 11th round, I will choose a warrior who can defeat you, Lord Loki. That's why I beg you. Absolutely wild stuff being done by Brunhilde here, but it does highlight how desperate she actually is, but 100% confirms that since the very beginning she has been saving Simo as the one to defeat Loki. That's probably why he hasn't been really an option in all the prior rounds and hasn't really been mentioned by the Valkyries in the story until this point. At first, we see Loki kind of joke around that he's not really interested, etc., that he will not be defeated, but we then learn that he already decided prior to this interaction that he will be the next fighter, meaning without the involvement of Brunhilde here, Loki had already cucked the likes of Anubis, but I'll be going over the Doggo Boy's reaction shortly. After that, we have Brunhilde thank Loki as he takes his leave, with us then cutting to the god in his room alone, where he proceeds to crash out, and honestly, for a pretty major reason, the person he is in love with is begging him to pretty much get himself killed so the one Brunhilde loves can be saved. Absolutely wild, and you gotta feel a little bad for Loki at this point. But after him cutting up, destroying his entire room, he says, "I will murder you." There are some differences in translations of this line. Based on what we know, this is either directed at Brunhilde herself, or more likely the case at Simo, the one he's fighting in round 11. Not getting himself killed in any way is going to show Brunhilde how strong he is and win the round, pushing humanity closer to their destruction, and of course, maybe getting with Brunhilde somehow, some way. We'll have to wait and see. But the interesting thing here is Anubis, who as you know was cucked in round 10, he was accepted by the likes of Zeus and the Norse gods as the next fighter, but due to Okita being humanity's fighter, Susna pulled up, cucked Anubis after some struggle, but that pretty much confirmed that he'll be fighting in round 11. But Loki in this situation, without the permission of anyone else, just chose himself as the fighter for round 11, not even giving Anubis the option. He just got cucked without any involvement. Somewhat similar to Shiva's situation, but again, very different. So with all things said, I'm very excited for the fight between Simo and Loki. I'll go over my predictions later in today's video, but now we need to go over the truth about Odin, the entire Record of Ragnarok story, Siegfried, and some other things that you do not want to miss out on. So recently we learned the official flashback of Odin when he was a primordial god and being portrayed as the leader of the Yggdrasil, a group of the strongest primordials of the time. He was then sealed, where this group sent out their ruins to the world for the sake of reawakening, where a nameless god found Odin's ruin, this sword, which resulted in the nameless god becoming the supreme god Odin we know in the story, the one we've seen since the very start, with everyone in the fandom questioning what happened with the other ruins. One was the original Satan, so theories were relating to Beelzebub and everything like that. Where was Chaos? Who was the vessel for Ymir, etc. But in this chapter, we see that all the ruins have been found by Odin himself and are within his body. Absolutely wild. Claiming that the Yggdrasil will live one more after the defeat of humanity in this tournament, which does in fact mean that the reason for this entire tournament starting does in fact connect to Odin, but also might mean the primordial gods aren't as strong as we initially thought. Yes, these four were portrayed as the strongest, but since the current Odin has 4 ruins within his body, he's still not capable of breaking the seal or being viewed as the strongest god, which as a reminder, the Yggdrasil's goal was to defeat the lesser gods, destroy them all, meaning Odin's current goal in the story is also to destroy all the other gods. Without the other Yggdrasil unsealed, it seems like he's not capable of doing that, meaning the current version of Odin isn't stronger than someone like Zeus, for reference, the one many view as the strongest god in the series to this day. Yes, his performance against Beelzebub and Buddha, while brief, was okay, but he did have a clash with Beelzebub that didn't give him any favourable strength showings. So perhaps Odin is insanely strong, but not capable of soloing the other gods like he was in the prior primordial state, which may mean the current level of gods are just outright stronger. But the way for the seal to be broken is the water of life, and the other one, a primordial vessel. Therefore, we learn from Nostradamus in Siegfried that the water of life is the life energy of all humans on Earth. That's why Odin voted yes for the destruction of humanity, and likely persuaded / manipulated many other gods to vote yes as well. And Brunhilde pulling up, cucking Odin by pulling up the Constitution of Valhalla, which noted the existence of Ragnarok, this tournament, enraged him to a degree, but means Odin isn't really behind the starting of the tournament, but he is behind pushing Brunhilde to do this, as the vessel is someone who requires all of the ruins alongside the water of life, receiving these two to wield the power to unlock the seal, which as a reminder, the seal was not created by Izanagi alone, many other primordial gods died in the process of releasing this seal, meaning it's not just him, many others in their entire life energy was required, with the requirement to become this primordial vessel being compatibility with all of the divine ruins, where throughout all of time since Odin was reawakened in this nameless god, could not find such a god to wield them all, even himself. Maybe that's why he isn't at full power, because he's damaging himself by trying to hold on to all these ruins potentially. But eventually he found the one that can handle them all, and that person is the one and only Siegfried. That's why he's in Tartarus, something that was actually predicted by a lot of you guys in the comments on some recent videos, so shout out to you, you know who you are, explaining why Nostradamus is appointed as Siegfried's doctor, and Odin will do whatever he can to ensure he lives, because he needs him as the only one that can handle and become the vessel for the resurrection of the Yggdrasil. Meaning, if the gods win the Ragnarok tournament, the water of life will be received and Siegfried will be used as the vessel, resulting in the destruction of humanity and also the destruction of the god, which means Brunhilde has been doing any means necessary to defeat the gods, to save humanity, to save her boyfriend, her love Siegfried, but also to save the gods themselves. An insane pressure she's been facing alone since the start of the series, concluding the biggest mysteries we've had in the Record of Ragnarok story since the very start, but also leaving us with one major question. Before this conversation ends, Siegfried says directly to Gol, "You are the last piece." Is this her being used as a Valkyrie for him to fight, or for some other reason? Let me know your theories on that down below. But when it comes to other mysteries, one that's maybe more important, our boy Rasputin is still yet to be revealed, the final fight in the tournament that hasn't made an appearance. Crazy stuff. With his fight against Anubis, something predicted since the very start being even more likely, and the rage from Anubis is probably going to reach its peak during the key moments throughout round 11 here, due to being cucked once again. And my predicted winner for round 11 is kinda hard. I want Simo to win, but I want Loki to win to increase the chances of Rasputin not getting cucked. On top of that, I still believe in the possibility of a draw to fix the various issues with the layout of the tournament. Now that we know what's really going on, the idea of there being a traitor human isn't really the case. Some people were bringing up the possibility of Nostradamus being a traitor based on some previous chapters, but with the clarification in this one, that's not really likely the case. Kintoki, definitely not. Rasputin, anything could happen as we know nothing about him in the series. But if I had to place my bets, based on how the gods winners have been portrayed, them now respecting humanity after winning, pretty much all of them at this point, it's likely the case that all of them are going to turn on Odin, want to side with humanity not getting destroyed regardless of the outcome. But I will be rooting for a draw as always until it happens. I'm way too deep in my hole to make a change. And when it comes to this fight, we did hear from Simo's Valkyrie that he's likely able to hide his presence in a pretty incredible way, which does connect to his performance in real life and what he's known for. So absolutely wild. It is the 12th Valkyrie he's pairing with it being assumed that his Volume will be the sniper he has in his original design photo. Apart from that, we have Loki's weapon already highlighted previously in the story, resulting in a very exciting 2025 for the Record of Ragnarok series. Make sure to check out all these videos available on the channel for you guys to watch. Some Go to the Record of Ragnarok content has been uploaded over the last month. Also, if you want to support the channel even more, check out Gamersub's new drops, link in the description, which provides you a 10% discount, with there being a new membership option available for you guys to get access to these shorts I'll be releasing every few days. These mad lads have already joined and have access basis. Thanks for the support, and laters boys.